Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Sam Pittman, the Arkansas Razorbacks, wrap up their spring game Saturday afternoon. And I think I have to start with just a quick apology to the Arkansas Razorback fans, a program that I've been sleeping on throughout spring practice. You take a look at that spring game for the Arkansas Razorbacks on Saturday afternoon. Taylen Green, he woke me up, and I'm not going to get on here and say from that spring game, I'm picking Arkansas to win the SEC, go to the college football playoffs. But I'm saying that this Arkansas team is going to be a lot more dangerous and really fun to watch in 2024 than I think I thought they were going to be 2 weeks ago. Want to dive into the spring game, talk a little bit about what we saw from this Arkansas team, what to expect in 2024. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. And this Arkansas team is going to be a team that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on throughout the summer and in fall camp as a team that really can be dangerous in the SEC and in the country in 2024. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this one. And I want to start with quarterback Taylen Green, who we covered when he committed to Arkansas from Boise State in the transfer portal. And the large narrative around Taylen Green was, this is a quarterback with tremendous upside, right? He has the ideal frame. He has a very, very good arm. Can he find that consistency that flashed at times during his time at Boise State, but never really found that consistency? And I'll say this, Taylen Green showed exactly what Arkansas fans want to see on that spring game on Saturday afternoon. This was a guy that looked in command of the offense, was going through his reads, getting the football out quick, attacking the deeper third. Really everything you wanted to see from Taylen Green, I think you saw from this Arkansas offense and from Taylen Green on Saturday afternoon. And again, you can talk about the physical traits all you want with Taylen Green. He has all of them. But I think what was most impressive with Taylen Green on Saturday afternoon was, the command that he had of this offense. And that's the one thing that we were really looking for, a guy that really relied on some backyard football and just being an athlete during his time at Boise State. You saw Taylen Green really fit into this Arkansas offense and just pick apart defenses, getting the ball out quick. And I think what even excites me more is the matchup between him and Bobby Petrino. I think there was a lot of meat left on the bone in terms of what Taylen Green could have done on Saturday afternoon. Had that game been live, they blew some plays dead that I think Taylen Green extends those plays, probably not getting brought down. You have Bobby Petrino. He comes in and takes over this Arkansas offense, and the most success you've seen Bobby Petrino have has been with quarterbacks like Taylen Green in terms of incorporating not only the passing attack, but using quarterbacks' legs, using that quarterback as an X factor in an offense. Bobby Petrino is a masterclass at doing that, and I think Taylen Green, Bobby Petrino, that's going to fit very well for this Arkansas team. And I didn't think I'd be saying this heading out of spring practice for Arkansas. I think there's a very large possibility at this point that Taylen Green even gives more production and more juice to this Arkansas offense than KJ Jefferson did. I think he's a little bit better of a thrower of the football. And although not the size that KJ Jefferson has in terms of being that battering ram running back or ball carrier, I should say, Taylen Green has a lot more athleticism than KJ Green. Some of those plays that might have gone for 10 to 15 yards for KJ Jefferson last year probably go for 25 to 30 plus with a guy like Taylen Green at quarterback. Now, you probably can't run Taylen Green as much as you did with KJ Jefferson just because Taylen Green is not the size of KJ Jefferson in terms of how thick he is and kind of being durable. But Taylen Green is certainly a guy that's going to get involved with that rushing attack as well. You just didn't see it a ton during that spring game. I think the next storyline for me watching this Arkansas game and why I am another reason to be optimistic about this Arkansas team is the offensive tackle play and largely the offensive line play was significantly better than we saw in 2023. I was pretty vocal that the reason Arkansas struggled in my mind so much in 2023, it really started with that offensive line that just was not the offensive lines that we expect Sam Pittman to have. Now, you bring in two tackles in the transfer portal. I thought both Fernando Carmona coming from San Jose State and Keyshawn Blackstock coming from Michigan State, thought they both looked very, very good. And I think tackle play is the most important position group on this Arkansas offensive line. You go back to 2023, playing guys like Pat Kutas at tackle at liability, right? They had guys playing tackle last year that just weren't really offensive tackles. Now, I think Pat Kutas can be a very, very good offensive lineman on the inside. He just wasn't a tackle. So I think my first takeaway was you feel really good about this tackle position, at least your two starters, heading into 2024. When you go back to last year, you just didn't feel that comfortable with it. The inside of the offensive line looked very good. And as a result, Taylen Green had some time to go through his progressions and deliver footballs down the field. Jaquindon Jackson coming over from Utah. That's how Arkansas wants to run this football, right? You can talk all you want about losing a guy like Rocket Sanders. Jaquindon Jackson, very similar in terms of the physicality that he brings. We got to see it in terms of getting downhill, absorbing contact. This rushing attack looks to take a step heading into 2024 with improved offensive line play. I think the running back room is still going to be damn solid for Arkansas. And then the last thing you want to talk about is the passing attack, right? We already talked about, in my mind, this Arkansas offensive line taking a massive step in the right direction. Our narrative around this Arkansas wide receiver room going back to last year was a lot of talent, not really sure what you have. And I thought you saw I think a lot of the lack of consistency in that offense. You didn't really get to see the wide receivers and the pass catchers really thrive. You look at guys like Andrew Armstrong, Tyrone Broden, Isaiah Satanga, Isaac Tesla. I thought they were making some plays. They were getting open. They were making plays with the football in the air. Was really encouraged in terms of what you saw from the pass catchers. I think you got some really talented tight ends as well, Luke Haas and company. I look at that Arkansas offense, and I left this spring game saying, this is an Arkansas offense that's going to take a massive step in the right direction heading into 2024. Now, you go to the defensive side of the football, and when you want to start with this Arkansas defense, they made a lot of moves in the transfer portal that we covered during those winter months. Couple guys that stand out. I think you got a really good edge rushing duo with Landon Jackson, who we know is just the guy for Arkansas. Anton Junkaj coming from Albany. I thought he had some really good reps as well. So you feel pretty good about what you have on the defensive line. Brad Spence is a guy that I don't know how he got out of Texas coming out of high school, because this is a guy that flashed last year, but you take a look at what Brad Spence is going to be heading into the 2024 season. I think you're looking at one of the better off-ball linebackers that we are going to see in the SEC. I was extremely excited, extremely impressed with what he brought. And I think the crazy part is he's only going into year 2 of his college football career. He's going to be a guy that continues to get better. You look in the back end, Jalen Braxton, another young buck for the Arkansas Razorbacks, that I think is going to be extremely good. I look at this Arkansas defense, and again, I'm not saying it's going to be a top 10 defense in the country, but the portal additions that they made specifically in the secondary where they needed to make a jump, I think you're looking at this Arkansas secondary and saying it got better than what it was in 2023. So you take an overarching view of this Arkansas team and say quarterback play. From what we saw with Taylen Green, and I get it's a small sample size, it's one spring game, there's reason to believe the quarterback play gets better. There's a lot of reason to believe the offensive line gets better. I think the pass catching unit's going to take a step because this passing attack is going to have a little bit more life. Then you look at the defensive side of the football, the secondary, I think takes massive steps from where you were in 2023. I think this team got better in the spots that they needed to get better in. And I left that spring game saying this Arkansas team going to be really fun in 2024. Taylen Green's a player that the sky's the limit for this kid. And I am really excited to see what Bobby Petrino and Taylen Green can do in 2024, a team we're going to be talking a lot about in the summer. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas again. All the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.